let's get into the final segment. Let's talk about something we have talked about every year since we ever started this show.
Every year,
every off season.
Every wide receiver core that's been presented to us since we started this.
Yes. Every single time. It always gets brought up. Oh, man, who can we add to this wide receiver room? But all of a sudden this year, wide receiver is not the focus of free agency. That's what it's been the last couple of years. It's been, how do we get a wide receiver? You know, we came into the draft and it was, okay, is it going to be Hollywood or is it going to be A.J. Brown or is it going to be DK Metcalf? All right, we went with Hollywood Brown. Then we ended up also drafting Miles Boykin. And then it was, the next year it was like, okay, we could get some sleeper guys. We end up snagging Devin Duvernay and James Prochet. The next year, we're like, okay, maybe we go after a Rashad Bateman, a Terrace Marshall. Well, we get a Rashad Bateman. And then we go out and we also drafted Tylan Wallace. So, Joshua, the wide receiver core right now is that, Hollywood, I'll put him at the 1. 2, I'll have Rashad Bateman. You can switch those. I don't really mind. 3 is Devin Duvernay. 4, Tylan Wallace and James Prochet are fighting for that spot. Do you think the Baltimore Ravens should draft a wide receiver early? I'm saying in the first 3 rounds of the draft. Do you think the Ravens should go wide receiver if someone not be like, oh, we have to take a wide receiver first 3 rounds, but if they see a guy, a Jameson Williams falling in the second round, a Chris Olave somehow slips into the second round, one of those a Treylon Burks, who's my favorite wide receiver in the draft, falls into the second round somehow. Do you think the Ravens should pursue them and draft them to, follow that best player available mentality?
I've been talking about Olave. I've been talking about my boy Metchie. I've been talking about my boy Jake, my boy Williams, man. That it hits my heartstrings, man. I would say this, since we brought back my my hybrid, my Swiss Army knife fullback, since we have my guy Gregory Roman that hasn't gone back to the high school level yet. No, we can't do it, man. We can't do it. You know why? Because we plan on running the ball, man. We getting back to we getting back to the roots, man. The roots of it all, the roots that made the Ravens, man. We running the ball, and that's it. That's all. Miles Boykin is still here, so that clearly tells me they don't want another wide receiver, y'all. We have the weapon. Shout out to the weapon. Today is his birthday. AK, also known as Joshua Oliver. If y'all don't know, we got the pieces here, y'all. We got the pieces. I know y'all gonna be mad because I'm talking crazy, but we got the pieces all in the organization, man. We just don't use them. In the words of Hollywood Brown, y'all called him soldier at one time. We got the weapons. Y'all don't know how to use us, man. So I'm gonna say no. I mean, honestly, I would actually be welcome into a Olave or Williamson, because Hollywood has to be like his cousin. And when I say he has to be like his cousin, he needs to be in the slot. Chris Godwin flourished in the slot. Antonio Brown, when he was with the Steelers, you pretty much lined him up anyway, and he thrived in the slot. Steelers, before they just broke up their whole wide receiver core, you can line up any one of their guys with Juju, James Washington, or Deontay Johnson, in the slot, and they pretty much went to work. But we heard so much about the creativity, the vaults. The air quotes are on the vault, y'all. It's on the vault. We asked about Devin Duvernay. Are there plays and packages for him? All we saw was a sweep, maybe once or twice, nothing else. He's not really a wide receiver. He's more of a gadget guy. Unfortunately, and it's nothing against Devin Duvernay. We know he can get out there and catch the ball. We know what he can do once he gets the ball. But the only tallest receiver that we have is Rashad Bateman, sitting at 6'1", 6'2". And I can't include Miles Boykin because he's a tight end. He's a special teams guy. I mean, he's sitting at 6'4", 6'5", but he doesn't know how to catch the ball with his life dependent on it right now. So as much as I'm saying that we really do need a wide receiver, um, to round this core up. No, we don't draft. I'm going to say no. We do not draft a wide receiver early. I'm sticking with that.
I can see the argument for that. Yes, we need one, but at the same time, we won't use one. So, like that's the difficulty of looking at this Ravens draft process. Now, I'm going to bring up an example because I'm a believer. I think we should draft a wide receiver early if the right guy is available. Don't just study every single wide receiver and be like, oh well, okay, this could be a third round guy that we could get. No. I got like 3 guys where I'm like, okay, I'm like first 3 rounds, let's draft them if they're available. Okay, I'll bring them up in a moment. But the Baltimore Ravens coming out of 2019 season, they had just had the greatest rushing attack the NFL had ever seen. Absolutely. They're sitting there in round 2, and all of a sudden, my number one running back in the draft is still available. His name was J.K. Dobbins. They go out there and they're like, ooh, yeah, let's draft that guy. That was not a pick that people were expecting them to make. Why? Because they already had a running back core. They had Lamar, Mark Ingram, Gus Edwards, and they were running that rock better than anybody had ever done before.
Agreed.
Well, they draft him. They figure it out. It takes a little bit. It takes them 8-9 weeks before we actually get to see consistent JK carries. And then we also saw that, Mark Ingram's not as good as he once was. So they get that rotation figured out. They get into the playoffs. Unfortunately, some bad things happened in the playoffs, but, that's besides the point. But overall, the J.K. Dobbins, I think a lot of people would say, was a good selection. It was a surprising selection at the time, but, in hindsight, it was a good selection. Hopefully he recovers from his injury from last season. But now looking at it in the wide receiver core, we do have good players. I like Devin Duvernay as a wide receiver. I like James Prochet. I love Tylan Wallace. I think they're all very solid. We have good guys in the, I'll call it the farm system, from baseball, on the practice squad. Benjamin Victor is a guy that I really like coming out of there. But if the Ravens could get another guy, absolutely go after him. I think the best comparison is the Dallas Cowboys. In the 2019 NFL draft, I believe it was 2019, they took CeeDee Lamb. They had wide receivers. They had Amari Cooper. They had Michael Gallup. Like, they were set. They didn't need a wide receiver. But Jerry Jones was like, hey, you know what? We can make this passing attack crazy good. Well, they drafted him. Dak Prescott with those 3 wide receivers, they were incredible. And then Dak Prescott got hurt. And then the team was terrible after. But those first couple of weeks, Dak Prescott was on pace for throwing for like 7,000 yards. It was like unbelievable because he had just so many weapons. Now, would the Ravens utilize their weapons to the fullest extent? No. But if they could get a guy that could come in and be a solid number 3 wide receiver, because we saw what Rashad Bateman came in and did as a first round pick. He was hurt. But midseason, he comes in, and it was very clear that he was easily at least the second best wide receiver on the team, if not the best wide receiver on the team from day one.
Yeah, for sure.
So if the Ravens could get a guy like that could come in and be like, oh yeah, I'm on Bateman's level, then all of a sudden teams are really scared. Now, who are guys that can do that? I have 3 guys that I think the Ravens could get if they fell into the second round. I wouldn't take a first round pick on them. I just don't think it's worth it.
Drop the names on us. Come on.
Number 1, my favorite wide receiver in this class, Treylon Burks. Treylon Burks, big body, great speed, can really do it all. I love Treylon Burks. Number 2, Jamison Williams, coming off of an ACL tear. But this dude was the number 1 wide receiver in the class prior to that ACL tear. He was the best wide receiver in the country. He is fantastic. And if he can't play at the beginning of the season, that's fine. Look at what Rashad Bateman did when he came in the middle of the year. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, yeah, we got that track speed. He would probably be the fastest player on the team. He'd be faster than Hollywood. He could be faster than Lamar. He could be faster than Devin Duvernay. He's got burners. So he's that guy. The final guy, Mr. Christian Watson, I would take in the 3rd round. Mr. 6'5", North Dakota State, freak athlete, monster wide receiver. I think he could be a guy that comes in and similar to DK Metcalf in the fact that everyone goes, why was this guy not taken earlier? Well, he went to a small school, but he dominated at North Dakota State University as the primary target of a top 3 pick in Trey Lance. Like, that's why Trey Lance went early. Yeah, Trey Lance was really good. But why was he really good? He had Christian Watson. That really helped him. One of the best wide receivers in the country, Christian Watson, has been rising on draft boards ever since that combine of his, running the 4.3, doing really good in all the drills. Christian Watson is that final guy I would take with a 3rd-round pick. And somehow if he fell into the 4th round, I'd take him there too. But, I'm talking first 2 days. But those are the 3 guys. I like Olave. I don't know how much I can get Olave to fit with the Ravens since he is like a big-time deep threat. I don't know how much that fits with the Ravens. Don't like the deep threats, which is sad. But I do really like Olave. I wouldn't be against drafting him, but he's not, on my gotta go after draft list.
So now that makes me ask you the question. I know we talked about the Dallas Cowboys. I know there's going to be a lot of Cowboys fans. They may watch this. Oh, whoa! These Ravens guys are talking about Cowboys. Just hold your horses. Watch where we go with this. Now, McConnell, let me ask you, who is the Dallas Cowboys offensive coordinator, or who was?
Well, that would be the young man by the name of Kellen Moore.
All right. Here we go. Now, Kellen Moore. Now, what school did he go to?
Yeah, he went to Boise State University.
All right, in Boise State University, what type of offense, if you remember, what type of offense they ran?
Well, they ran a very fun offense of trick plays, some spread. So they ran everything, man. They were Showtime college football.
All right. So he brought some of that. He brought some of that juice over there to Dallas, right? They ran single back. Big Zeke, Tony Pollard, and they had their 3 wide receiver set. So now let's fast forward. Let's go ahead and go to Orange Mills. Let's see what we got here. Who's our offensive coordinator?
Unfortunately, Gregory Roman.
Where Gregory came from?
High school football.
where Gregory came from? He came from high school. Listen, y'all. This is not Gregory Roman slander. We're just putting it out there. Especially we were one of wide receiver, y'all. He's literally getting Gus Edwards with maybe like less than 10% body fat. Gus and J.K. Dobbins has been working out daily together, just for the simple fact that they have signed Patrick Ricard back for 3 years. You're now proving the fact that you're not willing to change your ways and make us a pass team.
Greg Roman is happy that we signed his wide receiver 1 to a 3-year extension worth about $11 million in Patrick Ricard.
Oh, let's not forget Patrick Ricard. He was talking this stuff on social media. Did he or did he not post that? I had more snaps at tight end, than fullback. I'm like, whoa, there, my guy, 300-pounder. You can't.
What's funny is he said that, but it was also like, bro, we hated it every time he lined up at tight end. It was like, oh no, he's on the line. He's running a route.
You're trying to make a point at this, my guy. You only ran 5 and outs. Ain't like you ran a 10 and out. So honestly, I showed McConnell my mock draft one night, and literally 3rd round, I picked Slayer out of Georgia. I believe he was a tackle, and then right after that, I got Christian Watson because he was available. And on top of that, we have been asking for a big threat type of guy, someone that's not scared to go up there and get the ball, someone that we can send across the middle. We need that Anquan Bolden type of player in this style of offense. I mean, remember when we actually had our run for the Super Bowl in 2012, when AQ was out there, he played a significant role. Strong hands, didn't mind going across the middle. Still was able to land in the shoulder and still move forward. Heck, and let's not forget the Chargers game. Hey, diddle right up the middle. AQ hit. He landed a central block in order for him to get that first down. So it will be very beneficial for us to get a guy like that. You know, someone that's hard nosed, someone that knows their job, plays their role, and exceed expectations. But right now, I do feel like the Ravens are on a level of mediocrity that they do not want to get out of their own way. But in this year's draft, I hope they prove me wrong. I'm hoping they prove me wrong. With 10 picks, I feel like we honestly need 7 out of 10 players be immediate impact players. I know that's impossible, but right now in this state and with the way the salary cap was looking, and I don't even know if they're going to go out for J.C. Treader at the signing this giving Patrick Ricard this 3-year deal. It sounds like they may be giving all they hope in Patrick Ricard and Tristan Colon. I mean, I just don't know. I just don't know. So it's like I said before, it's a lot of factors that play in. We had to see what happens before April 29th, which is the first day of the draft. But the Ravens had to get out their own way of mediocrity, and they had to excel and want to really succeed, because you got guys on this team that wants to win, that wants to be better than what they're saying. And the Ravens organization at the front office, they just had to do better.
I agree with that. Yeah. Guys, let us know what you guys think about the Ravens drafting a wide receiver. Let us know what you think about the other segments. If you're watching just this segment on YouTube, this was the third and final segment of our recent podcast recording. And if you're listening on the podcast platform, thank you. We appreciate you guys, listening on your drive to work or drive home or bus ride or whatever it is. We appreciate you guys listening on that. Maybe you're running. Guys, let us know if you guys are listening to us, like, doing random things. I'm kind of curious. Like, does anyone just because I throw on like YouTube videos and stuff like that when I'm doing stuff. Like, I'll be like doing homework or doing laundry or cleaning my room or something. Are you guys is anyone like mowing the lawn listening to this? I'm just kind of curious, because I've definitely listened to like YouTube shows while I'm mowing the lawn. So, I'm curious. Is anyone doing anything weird listening to this? Just curious, or not weird, but like random. I'm just curious. Let us know, guys. But thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll see all of you again.